time for my own twist on another topic. So, basically, recently I got in trouble with God Gumball. Why did I do that? Threw a brick at someone, of course. They called me a nerd. What else was I supposed to do? For some reason, instead of God Gumball sending me to the Dodger Dare dimension, and I was instead told to clean out the archives of Toon World. Why, what in heck is this? It's a computer full of deleted scenes and banned episodes? That's a good idea! So, let's start with the media I know and love. From what I can tell, Super Y, Harry Potter, The Backyardigans, The Octonauts, Ninjago, and Team Umizoomi have nothing. So, what about Total Dramarama, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Xavier Riddle, you may ask? Recently rewatched this video. Which, by the way, is actually how Xavier Riddle became a new favorite show. How this wacky something and taught me about its true magic. But I actually heard in that very video that an Xavier Riddle episode might have been shelved for fucking up the moral. But don't quote me on that, I could be very wrong. Then Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't get me started on that! Okay, you've got me started. You mean, in case you didn't know, or you live in Japan, here in America, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is produced by 4Kids, which is extremely strict on what can be shown. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been censored a lot. To the point where if I said them all, we'd be here all day. So let me just explain my favorites. No Death, just Shadow Realm, that's an iconic one. No, instead of guns, they just turn them into the evil monkey of Chris's closet! Then, at one point in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, a character's dad owns a hot sauce factory. When I first watched it, I was confused, but I quickly realized, that's not hot sauce, that's beer! Guys, you can't drink hot sauce. You are basically asking for people to figure it out. Oh, and if you'd believe me, you say asking for milk in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is not censoring beer. He asks for milk in the original whole version, too. Oh, and then there's the Total Dramarama episode that was banned. I didn't realize it was banned for about half a year, even though it should have been obvious. This episode is called a Bok-Bok-Bokalypse. I think that's what it is. It's basically an episode where a pandemic of chickenpox reigns upon the daycare. If you can't tell, this was banned because of the coronavirus. However, the banning doesn't really bother me, since I can watch it for free on YouTube at any time. Unlike the infamous quarantine crabs of SpongeBob, banned for the same reason. Which is such a shame. Unlike other people, I think Quarantine Crabs was really funny. Well, since we've already got the kitchen utensil in mind, it's time for me to mention that him and Yu-Gi-Oh! Are foreign exchange students. Why?
I guess you're gonna miss the panty raid. The what?
So basically, unless you live in Japan, this episode is banned. Though, videos say they got rid of the episode everywhere, but I actually have it on my first 100 episode set. See, look, there it is, right there in yellow and blue. Guess everyone moved on. Either that or they thought Squidward lighting himself on fire was worse. This one from Loud House is really popular. No, really. There are reaction memes for it all over YouTube. No further comment. Anyway, Pokemon, like Yu-Gi-Oh!, has 4-kid censorship rules, but unlike with Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's very inconsistent. This gets banned, but this doesn't. 4 kids, they're the same fucking thing. Guys, you could have just done what Yu-Gi-Oh! Did by turning those guys into the evil monkeys of Chris's closet.
Yeah, there's an evil monkey in my closet! I don't care, son.
Then there's Peppa Pig. There's an episode of Peppa Pig that was banned. However, it was only banned in Australia. It was the episode where they start playing with a spider. Must I have to explain what's wrong? Oh, and then a Teletubbies episode was banned. 'Cause of this. I mean, I could understand this being unsettling for most, but I feel nothing. That's it? Where are your weapons? Well, there's a weapon over at the Tweenies' place if you're curious.
What you got there?
The smoothie.
I think we were talking about the, well, you know.
One-pronged sharp fork? You use them both to stab things.
Basically, the youngest was told he couldn't play with a toy sword. So he gave up and stabbed every show to death with a knife. That was a joke. But the kid was waving around the knife like it was a Wii remote and he was playing Wii Sports.
Hey, look at this, a big knife!
And this is where we play a game called Society Says No, 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 no. And banned. No. It shouldn't have been. This is a good lesson for kids. We don't need Ivy stabbing every show to death. Ivy! Ivy, stop it! Drop it! Meanwhile, Chase is accused of being racist because he's a cop struggling to herd a black sheep. Are you kidding me, Paw Patrol? Now, if you excuse me, I've gotta put on my brony glasses. It's on to My Little Pony. Remember in the episode The Mean Six, where the Mean Six just get melted by the Tree of Harmony? Originally, this was a lot more intense. But then the writers were like, oh shit, there are so many bronies around the fandom that we forgot this show's supposed to be for 4-year-old girls! Now, on to Bluey. Disney is the new 4Kids. Look, they censored this. Disney, you didn't have to censor a horse taking a shit. Then again, they also censored Bingo when she accidentally said a racial negative comment. So maybe Disney can do some things right. And now, to explain why my part of the title of this video makes me question the IQ of humanity. Ever heard of Fireman Sam? Not the quote-unquote good version, the Mattel version. I couldn't possibly explain what went wrong, so instead I'm gonna use the clip from Phantom Strider's video. Credit to him.
You freeze frame just right on the tripping. One of the papers has some verses of the Quran written on it. If you're not familiar, basically the Muslim Bible. And damaging the Quran in any way is a big no-no in many Muslim cultures.
To whoever animated that.
What the holy mother of crack was that about?
Did someone just swap out all the animators for 800 Patricks? You know what? Forget about Fireman Sam, nobody cares about it. That was a joke, I'm pretty sure this gave people lots of nostalgia. I mean, the show in general. The end.